Okay, this is November 5, this is for today, and this is Saga, my Chautauqua, with the wisdom of BC. Again, BC is a Chinese fellow. He hasn't been in form for a long time. I have no idea if he's alive or dead. I think he was other advanced years, but I have a hunch that he left the forum because if that forgive me for sipping the coffee while I talk. I think that he felt that he's the level of the traders in the forum deteriorated so badly that he simply felt that he is cutting pearls before swine, and he decided that he had more important things to do. This copied, I think, in 2010 from the archives of Global International. You can see in the top line. And I did it in time because he very soon after that requested to remove the stuff, and he chose not to make it public knowledge. So because of that, I feel like this is 10 times more precious because it's not available anywhere in the world. Peter, by the way, last night or over the weekend sent me to show you, he sent me a compendium from the archives of GVI, and it goes back to, this is the last time he posted was August last year, August 18, about a year ago. But these are just general comments about the market. Not, of course, in between, if you read very carefully, you find some pearls of wisdom here too. Empty vessels make the most sound, even in plastics. Can this is the Chinese translation to Isra Belagina Kish Kish Karya. Okay, 2 Koreans have been making those same threats for the last 60 years. 60 years is a very long time. Hardly a news of any kind in this neighborhood. That was as a result of North Korea warns all-out attack against the U.S. And he said this is poo-poo in February, and of course it was a poo-poo. Okay, you can. This is available to everybody. You just go to the archives and you can read it. So, but this is not available. So, since I think it is very valuable, and my dream was to go to China and meet him one day. I don't know if I will manage to do it, but read. As any case said, and now first we drink. And that famous song of Inspector General, if he drinks the glass with the poison. Trading is a mind game. You must change your mental attitude first from a normal person to that of a speculator. By the way, the word speculator in colloquial English is speculator. And it's a derogatory term. It's a gambler, okay? While those of you who happen to know Latin, you know that Speculatore from in Latin comes from the word spe, you, la, hopla, it doesn't say. Speculate. And those of you who know a little bit Latin, speculate means to see. I thought the root was observer. Thought the root was observer. Why don't I understand you, Joel? I'm sorry. Please explain yourself. I thought the root was observer. What does it mean? The word speculate is to see. This is why the word for glasses is spectacles. Yes, yes, yes. So the word speculator comes from the root of to see. It's a very positive adjective, but it turned out to be in our lingo a very negative word. Okay, so remember that the word speculator by itself is the one who sees, observer, as Gilad said, as Joel said. Okay. Almost all traders I have, except a few successful ones who remade millions and billions trading in the market. Look, you understand, this guy is the opposite of a braggart. He never brags about his trading. He never brags about his position in the government. He never brags about how many homes and property he has. He's very, really humble person. But when you read between lines, you realize that this guy is a financial giant. So he says, some of my friends have billions, okay? To tell the truth, the number of friends that I have who have billions is very count on one hand. Really? So you learn from his blogger about him. Simply, again, almost all traders I have met, forget the billionaires, simply waste all their time trying to learn the easiest part in perfection. The easy part in perfection, like about how to data and charts and trying to perfect entry and exit, yes, ESP, blah blah blah, what we do here, skills, etc. Says DC. Trading is a mind game, and without having a right frame of mind, it's a losing game even before it starts. You think that you can make money by observing the chart? Well, good luck to you, but you're wrong, okay? Training a trader's mind is the first step for any successful trader, but almost all new traders neglect that part, and that explains why more than 95% of traders are a failure in the long run. So you can say, yeah, I heard it, everybody says the same thing. Yeah, okay. But believe me, that the things that he is saying are, I don't know how to say, smarter or deeper or derived from more practical experience. Maybe all of them, but I don't know. But you have to really take the words he's saying and trying to understand it. And many times, most people, and I think that is the reason he left the forum, most traders don't want to pay attention to this. They don't want, in the way that Jesse Livermore said that somebody asked him about a trade, he would tell him whether the market is bullish, bearish, and that person will will die because that is not what that person wants to hear. He doesn't care about the philosophy and the status of the market. He wants to buy or to sell. People want to be fed. This is all American Obama nation. Most people will vote for Obama because he's sending them a welfare check and he's giving them food stamps. Most people, and when Romney says, well, I'm sorry guys, but 47% of you simply don't want to work and this cannot continue. And he gets hammered of this because he is inhumane. Okay? However, this is most people. Most people are lazy. What can you do? Most people, given the opportunity, any kablan, take any workman. If you don't watch them, they will steal you blind. We have a program on television called Yasata Tzadik, where they take a camera, they set up a situation, whether it is a broken refrigerator or a broken car or a broken electric connection, whatever, and they invite a lot of professional workers who will be honest and will fix it, because all you have to do is to connect, to screw the wire back in place, charge whatever it costs you to come to the place, an hour of work, and go home. Most people immediately tell, oh, this is broken, and this is broken, and this is broken, and charge the customer 3-4 times more than it was true, because most people, if they are not watched on, are thieves. What can you do? This is human nature. And same here, most people, most traders want to make easy money. They come to this game because they say, and the advertising, come to us and trade on our money, make millions. You cannot lose, blah, 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 blah. And you ask yourself, how can that be? How can people be so gullible? How can people fall for this? Well, ask me about me. Let me see, have it? Do I have it? I think I raised it. So if I go to and I go, this is 511, Mr. Info, blah 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 blah. I don't see this. Maybe it is. I have so many of level. No. Anyway, I get every day I get several invitations to join this organization, and that will show me how to make a lot of money risking nothing of my own. The last clause says that training costs money, and when you find how much money it costs, they charge you 21,000 shekels for training, and then take 6,000 out of this, and they say, this is our money, you can trade on our money, and you don't have to worry about losing this. Okay? What can you do? And we are in a very, very tough business, because the number of, it requires a tremendous amount of capability, and the number of charlatans and liars in financial markets is larger than in most other things. Continue. Acquiring the knowledge of the market is not difficult for anyone with average intelligence. So first of all, he tells you you don't need high IQ to be a good trader. It is not in the IQ chart. After a few years of hard study in the market, okay? A person with average intelligence who would want to put a few years of hard study in the market can acquire the knowledge of trading. A few years. Most people want to be good traders after a course of 3 months, okay? But it is neither the level of intelligence nor the knowledge that decides the outcome of the market operation of a trader. It is the decision-making process that is so hard for most traders to overcome. מערכת תהליך של החלטת החלטות. And I show you when we sit and we try to analyze Wyckoff, Schmeikoff, and decide to do this, to do that, and somebody wants to sell, somebody wants to buy. And this is what he's saying, that the decision-making process, maybe I would highlight those important words, that is so hard for most traders to overcome, and that's the main reason for a success or a failure for all the traders. The biggest problem is not being able to make the right decision, even when you are given all the information. Why two people can look at the same chart, check the same information, do this analysis, one will make money and one will lose money. And we ask the question why, and he's saying one of the main differences between the two people is they are making or pressing decision-making. Some find it easy to make decisions and stick to it, and most find it so hard to make decisions and stick to it. Very sentence, okay? Unfortunately, any decision-making process in trading is a pain-taking process, and humans tend to avoid pain and go for pleasures, even if for temporary ones. That is why I talk a lot about maximum pain points and about the fact that this is one of the hardest business, because all day long you have to make a new decision. If you had to go to work and you have an office and a machinery and telephone and secretaries and communication and then meetings and things, and every day you wouldn't know whether the secretary will be at work, whether your table will be at the same place, whether your scheduling a meeting will work or not work. You will go crazy. You assume that you run operation. The time you will know what goes next. That's why Outlook has that famous scheduler. It opens a week and it says between 8 and 9 you see Moshe, between 9 and 10 you see Carmela, between 10 and 2 you have lunch with Kishmalovich, etc., etc., etc. If all these things would change every moment, you would go crazy. And this is the market, okay? Assuming one has acquired in market knowledge and acquired proven trading system, is not stopping the trading system. He doesn't say the trading system is a bad thing. He said it's not the most important, but he's also saying that without a trading system, you are the creek with the pedal. This is the second most important element of success in trading. In fact, and in any system is based on the quality of information, of info one has, charts being only an info of secondary quality, not the best one. Something also surprising. He says, look, you do know other things. You cannot ignore. If you know, for example, that if Obama wins, will actually continue to pour money into the system, then you know that the dollar will continue to erode. If you know for sure that Romney will, on day one, if he wins, will fire Bernanke, maybe not fire him because he is not, he has to finish his term. But if you tell Bernanke, I don't allow you to, you fight until your term is over, they'll make very different aspects of cheating. He says you should not completely ignore this thing. Also says that knowing arts is important, me of secondary degree. He does not scoff at all this thing. Through studies and research, a trader faces the task of making decisions to put his knowledge system into practice. Then, how many traders can honestly say they can commit the range when the trade is suggested by their own system? Very strange statement. To be very careful when you do this thing. On when he says that one most important aspect of success or failure in trading is money management technique. How you manage your losses, how you protect your capital. And at the same time, this Chinese guy, at the same time, you need some balls. Yeah? If he says your system and the trade suggestion of your system, given that trading is just a chance game, yes? In other words, he says nothing will be 90%, and will have a probability of 90%, but maybe if you think it will have a 60% probability, where do you think I got my luck idea? From this guy, okay? And I'm saying, okay, let's assign, before we put the trade, let's assign an initial, a priori probability to a trade. If it's not bigger than 50%, we shouldn't put it because we are going into we are becoming a Las Vegas customer, okay? And we will in the long run. And he's saying, given the trading is just done, and let the profit run for weeks and months where system tells them. It's not any different than Jesse Livermore saying, I made more money with my tooth than with my brain, okay? א', ח', ת', ה', ראשי תיבות, אין חדש תחת השמש. Nothing is new under the sun. Or Heine, I think, who has said that everything that is smart has already been said. All you have to do is it one more time. Nobody invents the wheel or reinvents the wheel. Everything you hear from me, you heard before. The amount of wisdom, look, it is not in vain that the basic of all Western civilization lies in 10 commandments. God gave Moses the 10 basic rules that if you follow them, you will be able to run a civilized civilization. You will be able to survive whatever nature and other forces say. Only 10. You do these 10, the rest of them are Seifei Mishneh, secondary. So, whatever this guy says is cannot, by definition, be any different than other wise people say. They give it a little twist, okay? Twist with lemon, maybe, okay? But, so you say, if you give me the same idea, only with a different color, the same dress with an andere decoratia, as they say in Yiddish, who needs you? I got it, okay? That is not true, guys. That is not true. Because every time you read the same wisdom with a little different angle or point of view, you have a chance. You are given a chance by God, by the system, by your luck, by your choice, by your whatever, to improve yourself. Because most people, you have to understand. I go back to Warren Buffett because he cannot ask for a better example. Warren Buffett did not do anything different than millions of students of Graham and Dodd did. They read the book that was published in 1940, The Investment, and I have to return the 6 1 minute. Hold on. Value Investment, Grandon. Remind me, 1 second. I have to go. Warren Buffett, like millions of students read in the book that was published in the middle of World War II in 1940 by Graham and Dodd, Value Investment. Don't forget, they wrote it 8 years after the Great Depression, okay? And they said that the way to invest in the market is to look for companies that are selling below their value and hold them. They will do the work for you. Of all millions of people who read that book, one guy became the richest man on earth. What's the difference? They're all the same book. Why was he so successful? Well, because he followed these elements. He had a decision-making process. And more important than anything, I want you to read it again. He says, "Hey, where is it? How many traders can honestly say they can commit their ranch in Kova when trade is suggested by your own system? Give trading is just a chance game and let the profit run for weeks and months." And Warren Buffett said, he held all his stocks, and I never sell my stocks. Which is a big lie because he sold and manipulated Coca-Cola crazy. But that's what he said, okay? But he had that ability to commit to his conviction. Look at us. We had 2 good trades, Meow and Nasdaq. The moment we had a little profit, Joel jumps on the case and says, Amos, what are you taking profit? What about taking profit? And Amos, like an idiot, says, yeah, take profit. Becoming a good trade, not being able to say, hey, let the market take us out. Let's lower the stop. Let's commit to the idea. Well, it's more than one schmuck. I will take it in good spirit, okay? Okay, so how many traders can honestly say that can commit their range when the trade is suggested, and let the profit. Will learn from our mistakes. Yes, so yes, only that you past 50, and we are like that horse that his owner is trying to teach him to live without food, and the horse is doing extremely well, and the experiment is almost successful, and the stupid horse crooks before the experiment is declared total success. And let the profit run for weeks and months when their system tells them. We have a tendency to meddle with the system. The moment the system is working, we say, nah, we know vertauscht verbessert. We can improve this thing. We will take profit, and we will sell again on the rally. We will make money both times. Sometimes it works, and sometimes you lose and you miss a huge move, because right now, both your humble servant, not so humble, your servant and Joel, see with our fingers up our presses, and Joel says, Amos, I want to get back into the market. And Amos says, I don't know, Joel, what do you think? We both sit like schmucks because we had to match the system. No, you get the idea, okay? And how many can manage to cut the loss as a routine process? The outside of the coin is to admit that you are wrong. Get out. Get the fuck out. GDFO. One of the most important trading rules is get the fuck out. Get out. How many of us can do this now? We say, nah, maybe. Okay? To cut the loss of the process when the situation arises. It all sounds so easy when saying it. Says, it's trivial. Why are you boring me with such trivial nonsense? This is so simple, this is so obvious, yeah? But so difficult when doing it, affecting real money in the market. Again, you have to understand, the guy made who knows how many millions. I still do not sleep when I'm running position, because even if the profits are running into a few $100s and the system is telling you to carry on, there is no guarantee that the profit will turn into a yard or two in a month's time. Yard is $1 billion in Forest lingo, okay? Yard is a lot of money, okay? So, and it can even turn into a loss in a day or two when something unexpected happens. A painstaking process in real sense. He says is one of the hardest game, because you are all the time in pain, because you have no idea what will happen in the next moment. And if you to live your life that way, you would commit suicide. One of the most important elements of our life is, you know what? Routine. Without routine, we would all be dead. Most of the time when you go on vacation, what do you want to do? Lie on your back, drink your martini, and watch the beautiful women or the beautiful men wash ashore. Nothing. I just want to lie there and do nothing. This would be a fantastic vacation. The pain is not knowing what will happen in the future and the fear of losing. So, at the end of the day, as one has decent trading system, okay, market knowledge, rule 2, the decent info, whatever you get, is ultimately how disciplined and how well that trader can take the pain of making right decisions at the time that decides the outcome of the trade. I read the sentence again and again and again and again. Most of us, we know that, but we ignore it. We push it aside. We say, leave me alone. All this statement generalization, enough. Let me trade. Let me go to the next trade. Bullshit, he says. The philosophy is much more important. Hence, I call trading a mind game. I interview prospective young traders. You have to understand. This guy probably was charged. I think he was working for the Chinese government, but he never answered my question. Guy is open, but very secretive. We never knew his real name. What do they need stand for? BC, okay? And what did he really do? He never shared that, okay? But all of a sudden you say, when I interview, who interviews prospective young traders? An owner of a brokerage, or a manager of a bank, or a manager of a big fund who hires the traders. Who knows? But you understand, this guy is not on the lower ladder. This guy is very, very high up today. He's talking from experience. Not a community center organizer. You understand? He has experience. He always looks for disciplined and strong-willed person as first priority, as long as one has decent education. When you come to interview for a job, he doesn't ask you what do you know about economics. He wants to see that you finished at least a decent degree, and he is asking you, he wants to see how disciplined you are and how strong-willed you are. How many of you ask yourself before you've entered this game these two questions? Yotam, Gilad, Epi, Vara, Shmirovich, Machatul Milovich. How disciplined are you? Rate yourself. How strong-willed are you? Rate yourself. Nobody asks these questions themselves, okay? But trading is a mind game. But strangely, in many cases, it is some kind of genius or half geniuses with a lot of brains with no discipline who turn up for an interview thinking only bright people can make good traders. So this is very, very smart Confucius. He's telling you that if you think that you are smart, take your IQ, take your genius, take your smartness, and shoot very, very deep where the sun doesn't shine. Okay, this was 38 minutes discussion. I hope you don't mind it. I learned from it. It helps me. If you find this worthless, it's good. There's a fantastic button called Leave the Meeting, and you don't have to. This is a free world, free economy, and you can always leave. But I'm going to do this and go through the whole book, and hopefully some of you will benefit from it. Okay, so I'm closing this. This is lecture 2, October 5. The next lecture will probably be either tonight, if I have the energy, or tomorrow, what America is choosing between communism and capitalism. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'm stopping the recording.